Imagine walking through the gleaming corridors of a modern hospital, where every heartbeat, every beep, and every shift in a patient's condition is not only watched by skilled doctors and nurses, but also by advanced digital guardians, systems powered by cutting-edge artificial intelligence. These virtual sentinels never sleep, never grow weary, and miss nothing. In this new paradigm, danger signals are detected instantly, sometimes before a patient or even the staff themselves notice that something is amiss. Tragedies are quietly averted, families are spared unimaginable heartbreak, and a sense of security settles over the wards, knowing that invisible technology is tirelessly working behind the scenes to keep patients safe. This may sound like a scene plucked from a science fiction novel, but it is quickly becoming the bold new ambition of the National Health Service in England. Yet, as with all revolutions, a critical question looms. Can artificial intelligence truly revolutionize patient safety and save countless lives? Or does it risk introducing a host of unforeseen challenges that our society and healthcare system may not be ready to confront? To understand the scale and significance of this transformation, we need to look back at the journey that brought us here. For more than 7 decades, the NHS has stood as both a beacon of national pride and a lightning rod for fierce debate. Its legendary successes, millions of lives saved, groundbreaking treatments invented, and universal care provided regardless of wealth, have set a gold standard worldwide. However, it has also weathered storms of scandal and tragedy. The haunting disaster at Mid-Staffordshire, where an estimated up to 1,200 patients lost their lives due to inadequate care, became a stark symbol of systemic failure. Families fought for years to uncover the truth. Whistleblowers were silenced, and crucial warning signs languished, buried under mountains of paperwork and bureaucratic inertia. Then, the chilling events at the Countess of Chester Hospital, where nurse Lucy Letby committed unspeakable crimes, shook public trust to its core. Again and again, the pattern was heartbreakingly familiar. Warning signs missed, dangerous trends overlooked, action arriving only after irreversible harm had been done. These painful episodes laid bare a sobering reality. Despite countless reforms, official reviews, and renewed promises, the NHS has long grappled with persistent challenges. Patient safety remains a pressing concern. Chronic staff shortages are commonplace, with some wards seeing a single exhausted nurse responsible for caring for as many as 10, 15, or even more patients in a single shift. The complexity of care has skyrocketed, fueled by an aging population, ever-advancing treatments, and growing patient expectations. At the same time, the traditional systems designed to catch problems, incident reporting, routine inspections, and clinical audits, often operate on delayed, incomplete, or fragmented data. By the time a dangerous pattern emerges, it may already be too late to intervene effectively. Now, we stand at the threshold of a new era. NHS leaders, in close partnership with government and technology experts, have unveiled a historic, world-first innovation, an artificial intelligence-powered early warning system for patient safety. The vision is bold. Rather than relying solely on stretched human vigilance, this system will sift through vast oceans of near real-time data gathered from hospitals, clinics, and community health settings. It will analyze patterns in deaths, injuries, medication errors, infections, and other adverse events, searching for hidden clues, subtle anomalies, or unusual clusters that could signal emerging dangers. These are patterns that even the most attentive human eyes might miss, simply because of the overwhelming scale and complexity of modern healthcare data. The stakes could not be higher. According to the latest figures, clinical negligence claims cost the NHS an astonishing £2.6 billion annually, a figure so large it could fund thousands of new nurses, doctors, or state-of-the-art treatments. Studies reveal that insufficient staffing correlates with a 15% rise in adverse safety incidents, from medication missteps to avoidable deaths. Yet, the digital infrastructure needed for artificial intelligence to work its magic remains incomplete. Only about 60% of NHS trusts currently have fully interoperable, up-to-date digital health records. Without seamless data integration, even the smartest algorithms are left navigating in the dark. Professor Meghana Pandit, co-national medical director for the NHS, describes the initiative as a game-changer that will turbocharge the speed and efficiency of identifying safety concerns. Sir Julian Hartley, chief executive of the Care Quality Commission, shares in this optimism, promising that the new digital tools will empower the NHS to cultivate a stronger, more holistic approach to care quality. The ambition does not stop there. The government's decade-long plan aims to transition the NHS from its analog past into a digital future, with the potential to serve as a blueprint for health systems around the globe. But beneath the surface, a vigorous debate is underway. Frontline nurses, doctors, and patient advocates, those who understand the daily realities of care better than anyone, are raising important questions. Professor Nicola Ranger, General Secretary of the Royal College of Nursing, cautions, "The guaranteed way to improve care is to raise staffing levels. In the NHS today, one nurse can be left caring for 10, 15, or even more patients at a time. The situation is drastically unsafe. By the time an inspection takes place, it could already be too late." She insists that technology must never be seen as a substitute for the human presence, empathy, and expertise that are the bedrock of quality care. This tension exposes a deeper dilemma. Can even the most advanced technology compensate for the chronic underfunding, workforce shortages, and bureaucratic inertia that have plagued the NHS? Or does the dazzling promise of artificial intelligence risk becoming a distraction from the root causes of systemic risk? Ethical considerations are front and center. Dr. Susan Smith, an internationally recognized expert in artificial intelligence ethics, stresses that any digital system used in healthcare must undergo rigorous ethical scrutiny. Artificial intelligence in healthcare is not just about clever algorithms, she explains. We have to ensure these systems are transparent, accountable, and free from bias. Otherwise, there is a very real danger that existing inequalities, whether based on race, socioeconomic background, or geography, could be perpetuated or even exacerbated. Patient advocacy groups echo these concerns. Surveys indicate that approximately 3 out of every 4 patients harbor concerns about how their data will be used by artificial intelligence and other digital tools. The anxieties extend beyond fears of hacking or data leaks. Patients worry about being excluded from decisions regarding their personal information, or worse, having their care shaped by opaque algorithms with little opportunity for challenge or appeal. John Williams, a leading patient safety campaigner, insists that transparent communication is key. People deserve to understand how their data is used, and to have a choice. Patients should be offered clear explanations, the right to opt out, and a seat at the table as these systems evolve. Without trust, even the best technology will fail to deliver on its promise. What might the future hold if the NHS fully embraces artificial intelligence for patient safety? Let's explore several possible scenarios. In the most optimistic vision, artificial intelligence is seamlessly woven into the fabric of everyday healthcare. Early warning signs are flagged well before they escalate into crises. Instead of reading headlines about hundreds of preventable deaths, the public hears stories of lives saved by algorithms that catch subtle anomalies in medical records, a pattern of post-surgical infections, a sudden spike in medication errors, or an unusual cluster of complications in a particular department. Investigations are launched swiftly, closing dangerous gaps in care before they widen. Over time, predictive analytics enable clinicians to anticipate risks even before symptoms emerge, fundamentally shifting medicine from reactive to proactive. The government's investments, £50 million in artificial intelligence education, £200 million in cybersecurity, and a decade-long commitment to digital transformation, produce measurable improvements in safety, outcomes, and public trust. However, the road to this future is strewn with hazards. Digital revolutions are rarely smooth. Experts warn that new risks can replace old ones. For instance, overly sensitive artificial intelligence systems may generate a barrage of false alarms, overwhelming healthcare staff who are already stretched thin. Rather than making care safer, this alert fatigue could cause true warning signals to be lost amidst the noise. Professor Emily Brown, a respected healthcare policy analyst, notes, "The ultimate success of artificial intelligence in the NHS will depend on tackling the root causes, staffing shortages, and resource pressures. Technology alone is not a cure-all." Data privacy is another looming challenge. With around 3 in every 4 patients expressing concern about how their data is handled, even a single breach or misuse could irreparably damage public trust. There are well-founded fears that if algorithms are trained on incomplete or biased data, they may fail to flag risks for marginalized groups or those living in underserved communities. This is not an abstract concern. Real-world examples from the United States and elsewhere have shown how poorly designed algorithms can inadvertently deepen disparities instead of addressing them. To address these risks, the government has promised a £200 million investment in cybersecurity, building robust firewalls, rapid response teams, and strict protocols to defend against hacking, leaks, and misuse. But as technology experts point out, no system can ever be completely secure. The challenge is not only technical, but ethical and cultural. How can the NHS ensure that every patient's rights are respected, that data is used only for good, and that transparency and public scrutiny are built into the system by design? Looking beyond England's borders offers valuable lessons. In the United States, hospitals have trialed artificial intelligence-powered early warning systems for conditions such as sepsis and cardiac arrest. Some studies have reported faster detection and improved outcomes. Others have found that a deluge of false positives can burden already busy staff, paradoxically making care less safe. In the Netherlands, a national digital patient safety program succeeded in reducing medication errors, but only after many years of careful collaboration between technologists, clinicians, and patient advocates. The lesson is clear. Technology can amplify both strengths and weaknesses. If artificial intelligence is implemented thoughtfully, with robust safeguards and continuous engagement from all stakeholders, it can be a transformative force for good. But rushed, poorly explained, or inadequately supported rollouts can backfire, undermining trust and potentially causing harm. What does all this mean for you, the viewer, the patient, the concerned citizen? Whether you live in the United Kingdom or are watching from another corner of the globe, the choices made by the NHS today may shape the future of healthcare everywhere. The NHS experiment will set a precedent for how to balance the shimmering promise of artificial intelligence with the enduring need for trust, transparency, and human compassion. In this new era, patients and advocates have a louder voice than ever before. They can demand plain explanations, the right to opt out, and real participation in shaping how their data is used and how care is delivered. It is important to recognize that every digital revolution brings not just opportunity, but responsibility. The stakes are deeply personal. If you or someone you love ever needs healthcare, the way artificial intelligence is deployed, and your rights to privacy, dignity, and recourse will affect you directly. As John Williams, the patient safety campaigner, reminds us, people deserve to understand how their data is used, and to have a choice. So, can artificial intelligence truly deliver safer care in the NHS? Or will it deepen mistrust and sow the seeds of new risks? The honest answer is that this is both an immense challenge and a unique opportunity. The potential to save lives and prevent heartbreak is real, but only if technology is accompanied by strong ethics, better staffing, and open, ongoing communication with the public. If artificial intelligence is allowed to become a quick fix for deep, unresolved issues, the risks may ultimately outweigh the rewards. Looking ahead, 3 scenarios seem possible. In the brightest scenario, artificial intelligence becomes a trusted partner, dramatically reducing harm, enabling earlier interventions, and empowering clinicians with real-time insights that save lives. In a more cautious outlook, growing pains persist. False alarms, alert fatigue, and incomplete data integration slow the journey but do not stop it. In the darkest possibility, artificial intelligence is misapplied, trust is lost, and the very fabric of patient care is frayed by secrecy, bias, or a lack of accountability. What can you do? Stay informed. Ask questions about how your data is used and protected. Engage in public consultations. Demand transparency and accountability from policymakers and healthcare leaders. Your voice is vital, because the future of this technological revolution will not be determined in closed boardrooms or by faceless algorithms alone, but by the willingness of patients, families, professionals, and the wider public to participate, debate, and hold the system to account. As the NHS embarks on this monumental journey from analog to digital, the eyes of the world are watching. Will it become a global model for safe, ethical artificial intelligence in healthcare, or a cautionary tale of noble intentions gone awry? Only time will tell, and your engagement could make all the difference. If you found this story thought-provoking, let us know your views in the comments. Would you trust artificial intelligence with your health or that of a loved one? What safeguards or explanations would give you confidence? And if you want to stay ahead of the curve on technology, policy, and the future of global innovation and economics, hit that subscribe button. We have many more deep dives coming your way, exploring the trends shaping